Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another Blaq Unicorn Red Pill production. Today, we're going to discuss the Red Pill groups and philosophies. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. I want to say thank you for tuning in to another Blaq Unicorn Red Pill production. Today we're going to discuss some of the Red Pill groups and philosophies, namely the MRA, Manosphere, MGTOW, Negromanosphere, IBMOR SYSBM. So first, the Manosphere. The Manosphere is kind of like the smoking room of the internet. It's the gentleman's club, the men's locker room, a space for men to be men, to talk about men's issues, and to help each other out. Kind of the internet version of the Man Show. A space for guys to be guys and to be there for one another. The Manosphere does have several different websites. It's not necessarily centrally located, but there are several sites that are most well known, several speakers who have their own followings that pop up on YouTube, as well as Facebook groups, and just internet websites, forums, and Reddit subreddits. The MRA is a men's rights activist or a men's activist group where men are more hands-on in helping one another with their grievances and issues concerning their needs. This is a space for men to support one another after messy breakups, divorces, custody battles, and so forth. They also engage in activist behavior against the laws and the judicial system, which is heavily in favor of women over men, regardless of the details. MGTOW, which we have discussed, it's a philosophy of men who are choosing to leave the status quo dating system and do their own thing. I have several videos already on this topic. Please see those for more details. Thus far, these past three groups/philosophies are more or less open to all men, though they do focus around men from the United States of America and primarily white or Caucasian or European men. The following three groups tend to focus more on the Black American or African American man. For example, the Negromanosphere. This is like the brothers only section of the internet or Manosphere. This is a space for Black American men to discuss their issues and grievances, which are similar but different from the standard Manosphere, which is mainly white. These men come to discuss issues pertaining to Black American men and women issues, as well as combating racism, institutionalized racism, mass incarceration, and many of the issues that specifically affect Black or African American men. IBMOR is Introspective Black Man of Reform. This is somewhat similar to the MGTOW or MRA of Black men in that they are more than a movement than just a philosophy, and one of their platitudes is about creating their own society designed to uplift our community and rectify hundreds of years of dysfunction. You then also have SYSBM, Save Yourself Black Man. This is much more of the Black man's MGTOW in that it's more of a philosophy than a movement, which is more centered around Black men getting out of the Black matriarchy or away from the succubus. My thoughts. I have zero problems with the Manosphere or Negromanosphere. I think that these spaces are necessary. One of the unintended or perhaps intended side effects of the more recent deregulation of the sexual marketplace, modern day feminism, and equalization of the sexes is that there are fewer and fewer spaces for just men or just women. And men, much more than women in this current day and age, truly need a space to be around their own and kind of rebuild their testosterone and rebuild their networks. So both the Manosphere and the Negromanosphere are necessary spaces, like gentlemen's clubs, smoking rooms, and the men's locker room. It's not a space for women, and that's just fine. As far as the MRA, again, no problems here from this young lady. There are definitely laws and policies that definitely unfairly favor women over men and have put men out in bad positions. And as in any group, there are bad actors. There are bad actors among women who treat men like disposable tools, and it is good to think that there is a group of men who help and support each other. Similarly, IBMOR, I believe, is a wonderful thing and very necessary as at least a concept for most of their platitudes in order for our people to uplift and build as we truly need to correct our hundreds of years of dysfunction from enslavement. In fact, IBMOR really goes contrary to the common cry for help a lot of sisters use, saying, "Oh, if the black man builds it, we will follow." For here is a movement of black men looking to build. In fact, one of the wonderful things about the IBMOR movement is that it definitely involves and centers around having mentors, guidance, and support for each other. This is a huge part of their platitude and their tenets, and they surround themselves with this policy, these views of having heterosexual black male leadership and building families. My only criticisms to IBMOR is their feelings towards women and females. I'll read very quickly from their list of tenets, which I have found on a website, and I freely admit that I am looking for more sources in my study of IBMOR. So if you are listening and you have more details, more information, or a better source about IBMOR, please put that in the comment section. I love to research. But here are some of the tenets. As with all things heterosexual black men create, Caucasian supremacy, government/corporations, and feminist, i.e. matriarchies, will attempt to infiltrate, corrupt, and destroy IBMOR. Hopefully this creed will make it harder for them to misguide us. We believe in heterosexual black man leadership. We understand that females are only here for sex and reproduction. Females should never be given authority in society over men in any way. Men should never cater to women in any way. We believe in the brotherhood of heterosexual black men who recognize the problem of Caucasian supremacy and matriarchy. Through this brotherhood, we will eventually secure land, declare a nation, and build a technologically advanced military to defend that nation. We believe in strengthening ourselves mentally, physically, and financially. This requires that we increase our knowledge, maintain regular exercise, consume mostly organic foods, and avoid any addictive man-made or natural substances. We also believe in turning paper money into tangible resources. We do not believe in obtaining a marriage license or common law marriage within this current gynocentric system of Caucasian supremacy. A marriage license or living with a female is not needed if a man wants to commit to one or more females. his word of loyalty is sufficient. We know that the illusion of submission is the best that a female can offer a man under this gynocentric system of Caucasian supremacy. A female is only truly submissive when society doesn't give her a choice. We believe that homosexuality and lesbianism represent the death of a people because no children are produced out of such unions, and bisexuality causes instability in society. We do not believe in arguing with females. Women feel the world. They don't think the world. So you cannot change a female's mind by way of entreaties or logical argumentation. The only action that will change a female's mind is force. Denying a woman your attention is the most effective way to deal with females in this current gynocentric system of Caucasian supremacy. As far as interrelational relationships are concerned, you can have sex with females of another race, but after you become IBMOR, you can no longer reproduce with non-black females. Doing so weakens our genetic code. And so those are the tenets I've been able to find regarding IBMOR. Now, why discuss this in such detail? Because, on the whole, I actually agree with a vast majority of these beliefs. However, there are a few tenets here, I'm certain those you can guess, that show a certain one-sidedness to this approach, which is to be expected, but helps to understand the real reason why you see in the motherland, Africa, and what is left of our intact cultures and societies, there was a healthy balance between male and female authority and leadership. Under Platitude 1, it says that we understand that females are only here for sex and reproduction, and that men should never cater to a woman in any way. Quite frankly, this is simply false. Females are here for far more than just sex and reproduction. We will discuss this later. However, it is worth noting, I feel that most mature, well thought out men, even some IBMOR men who are on the mature side, by mature I mean, let's say 50 and older, would agree that there are certainly value and use to women, females, beyond just sex and reproduction. And that in order to have a healthy society, which would need to have healthy families, in order to maintain healthy families, as we women do certainly feel the world, women do need to be catered to by men in some ways. I would say that even the most masculine of men of any race, healthy, masculine, even rude and misogynistic at times, would still cater to his wife and would still have a wife because he understands that he needs a wife, and that having women for just sex and reproduction would reduce the need and eliminate the need for wives. And so in a sense, it almost contradicts itself when we go down to the fourth platitude about marriages and marriage licenses, in a sense that certainly a man can commit to one or more females with their word of loyalty, which is what marriage used to be before the license system. Why would any man bother to do this if females were only existed for sex and reproduction and were never to be catered to in any way? Again, I'm getting a little into the weeds here, but this is the reason for this video, which is to discuss these different groups and my thoughts on them. I understand that it is never good to argue with women. I do not agree that force is the only way to have submission. However, maybe I am being a little idealistic here. It is my belief, however, that women who will not come along by words and by coercion simply should be left behind, and that a good woman will submit without threat of force. However, once again, I'm getting a little into the weeds here. I'm focusing a bit more on IBMOR because I think this one is the group with the most potential to do well and succeed as far as the advancement of our Black American or African people. Moving on to the SYSBM, or Save Yourself Black Man. Now, this is more again of the Black men's MGTOW, in that it focuses more on Black men saving themselves from Black women. There are some sisters who are toxic and unhealthy, and they are referred to more commonly by the SYSBM men as succubi. And so this group of men seems to thus far advocate for women of other races inside of the United States, or simply Black women outside of the United States. And in that, I'd like to sign off and say thank you for everyone for listening. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have I accurately described my brief overview of these movements and groups? Are there groups or movements I'm leaving out? Let me know in the comments. I look forward to seeing them. I'll respond, do a video if I can, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next video. Peace.